Hello, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle blog and YouTube channel. I'm bringing to you today another material from the Pacific War, a great title by Mark Herman, which brings to you the war on the Pacific between 1941 and 1945 in a very detailed and interesting way. What I will be playing today would be next another battle scenario. Just a reminder for everybody, we have pretty decent scenario list in this game. We played already all the engagement scenarios. I covered the first battle scenario, Relief of Wake Island. I decide now not to go in order, but jump to the ninth scenario, Indian Ocean Adventure. Why? I deem this one of the best training scenarios to learn the battle scenarios. The first scenario, Relief for Wake Island, was also good for learning purposes because we had only battle cycles. Now, in this ninth scenario, Indian Ocean Adventure, we would have a full battle scenario cycle. So as you can see on this cycle track, we would have additionally operating player contact phase and reaction player contact phase. What's this scenario about? We should tell a little background story. It's April 1942. The Kido Butai is simply sailing from one victory to another victory, and here it will be no different. Again, a huge victory. Here we have Kido Butai, so the carrier fleet, and the supporting surface fleet for them. Kido Butai is here. Here is a supporting task force, and here we have a force with a recon plane. They will be hitting the Ceylon, and in general, they will be sailing towards India. Historically, it was a huge success. They inflicted a lot of damage. And if we look here in the special rules, there is some errata. This is operation which lasts 21, not 14 days. It should be played in 1-2 hours. Pretty nicely placed, suitable. What we have from the special rules? Of course. So first of all, if we do not deactivate legally the units by the end of the scenario, they will be sunk. So we cannot just sail out of here and not come back. We need to also safely come back. Second rule is that the intelligence is intercept. So normally the British would be able to pretty quickly stop the Japanese. I think after they moved to the second position on the naval movement track, I don't remember the details now, but very, very quickly. Not here. Here it will be only this move will cease only when they within strike of Colombo, or maybe if they are simply searched successfully by the British. So they will be able to approach pretty closely within striking distance, or maybe being discovered, and only then will move from this operating player contact, from the contact phases to the actual battle cycle phases. There will be also possibility to use submarines, one shot from each side, but I will come to this only once they start to engage each other. Who wins? Japanese player wins by scoring more hits on naval units than the Allied player, else the Allied player wins, including the draws. So, as always, everything here, the setup, the composition. I think we have some errata here. Yeah, we need to add small base here and small base here. And the setup also says that those two task forces, British task forces, cannot change the composition. And that would be problematic because with them, we have first of all here a plane which is beaten, it has 3 hits, and we have also those ships, A, which represents, I think, the commercial ships, something like this. And here we have also the second group. We'll be, of course, transforming this into task forces and forces. We have some planes here according to the setup. Here we would have one of the carriers, Hermes, and also some mixed destroys. So those are here according to the setup, those are here according to the setup. And this is Colombo, and the other town is called Trincomalee. Okay, hope I pronounce it well. So how do we start? We'll be going through operating player contact phase. That will be the first thing we'll be doing. During this phase, we'll be moving here on the naval movement track. Each time we hit the gray zone, we'll move day one space. And each such movement will be one hex here. So let me start. In the meantime, we'll also reform those task forces and forces here because it needs to be done. One thing which was drawing my attention in this game setup, not sure if this is correct, you can see that the second task force has this long range aircraft, 205th. I assume they are somehow attached to some of this plane. On the other hand, yeah, we should not have possibility to move a task force because this is not capable of using the ships as a platform. So I will actually put those guys here into the city, and they will be part of some force we'll have. Task Force 2 was it was here in this. So they will be with them. I think this is better setup than putting them with this task force. All in all, this is a training exercise, and I deem myself to have completely free possibility to set it up like I would like to. We start with operating player contact. We sail one hex. No searches are possible because we are out of range. We jump here one day. Now, regarding the searches, the farthest way we can search would be with this long range planes, yeah? So as you can see on the search, it will be even up to 8 hexes. So unless we are at 8 hexes, we don't need to take care of this. Okay, then we'll do another 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No searches and no stopping. Of course, the base is not sailing with us. Why it started to sail? 1, 2, 3. In the meantime, we move to the day 2. And before we jump further, let me a little reorganize this. What we have here, we have task force which cannot change its composition. Here we have planes, we have CV, so yes, that plane would be for sure in force 4. So we'll create force 4, and it will be here as a long range. We'll add to this force those 2 planes. Yeah, this will be force 4. They all will be here. And we'll create a task force from those units. Task force 4. This will be screen. Okay, and I would like then to combine it most probably sail out and run from here. So we'll have task force 4 here and force 4. As far as this is concerned, I think that it's better to have an anti-air from this, so we'll leave those ships here, but what we'll do, we'll create a force from those planes. So this will be force 3. Then we should probably, during our movement phase, combine them, but for time being, yeah, this is still operating player. We sail further. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see, I do it in a day increments because we are so far away. The 8 hexes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So somewhere over here, let me just mark it. This is the line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 when we need to check it. And that way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's already the place when they can be spotted. Okay, so I think that task force will wait for those to come. For time being, they sail further. 1, 2, 3. So that's another day. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's another day. And now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Now we'll start entering the space where we can search. Before moving, we could search, but yeah, they are too far away. So now we'll be going in the 1 hex increments. So those guys come here, those guys come here. They don't have a long range planes, so we cannot try to search as Japanese for the British, but we can do it, of course, the other way around. Let me just take the dice, okay, and something to roll it. So we take a blue die. The range is 8 hexes. Yeah, it is day, so on 0 they will be spotted. No. So remember, each unit can only search once. Each hex can be searched only once. So now we go to the next increment. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's 7. So long range still searches on 7. And Japanese cannot do anything. Yeah. Because their range is 6. Nothing. Bah. Bah. So now both sides can search, but before this we need to do the increment. Yeah. So now both sides can search. First of all, the long range searches. Yeah. The long range was with 0-4 task force, but also other planes can search. So the long range will search for the carriers, and on 6 hexes is 0-1, and another plane will search for this task force on 0. No, and no task force 2. No. Now those guys can also search. Let me bring the Japanese search. Sorry guys, I was using the Japanese. I even marked it here. But was there any difference? No, the planes were not able to search on 6 hex. Okay, nothing wrong happened. Now, Japanese are searching. They have 6, and they can successfully search on 0. Let me try to search for the task force 4. Why? Because I know the task force 4 is a juicy task force with this. 0. Yes, they are spotted. So the second, we'll try to search for task force 2. No. Okay. We move next increment. So now it's the range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the range of 5, yeah, we mutually search each other. I think this plane can also do it, but it will have less probable search. So first of all, the Japanese will try to search task force 2 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes. And on 5 hexes, it's 0-1. No. And now the other can search for this task force 0-1. It's 6, so only on 0. No. So now the British can try to search. Long range plane, searching on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will have some decent probability. Yes, 0-2. We'll find them. 0, 2. Of course, we try to get the Kidobutai, and then the second task force with planes. We'll try to find those at the 5. At the 5, 0, 1. Now, I can tell you that's interesting what's going on. The question is whether the Japanese should further move or maybe risk starting already the battle cycles, because they have already spotted one task force and they would definitely like to hit it before other things happen. I think it's pretty decent position for them. So they will stop here. They stop their operating player contact phase. So we jump to reaction contact phase. Now the number of hexes we can move with reaction player is 17, but we do not move the time. And they will definitely would like to do some moves and reorganize themselves. First of all, we can search before the first move. So we do the search. Japanese will try to search for the task force 2 at the range of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a regular plane. So at the range of 5, it's 0, 1. Whoa, they are really good at those search rolls. And now we are rolling with 0 on task force 0, 1. No, but close. Americans try to find them with a long range. A long range will be at 5, 0, 2. Kidobutai. No, and the regular plane is on 0, 1. Now we search for this task force. No. Then they can do the move, and they will sail out. Definitely those guys here. Those guys here. Those will stay. What you would like to do is to combine them. Oh, they can also sail out to combine earlier. We moved one hex. Okay. Now for the second turn, we will be again searching and moving, searching and moving. So yeah, let's try to search and move. First of all, they try to find them. I think in the end, both sides should find each other. 1, 2, long range 0, 1, 2. So first task force 4. No, it was of course Kidobutai first, and then they 1, 2, 3, 4. Regular plane is 0, 2. Oh, so this task force is spotted. So what will happen now? We have a move. We'll move this task force here, this here, and this here. And I think the British now will do still one. Still needs to do some move, yeah, in order to be able to be in the range. Yep. So let me do one more phase. This was 0, 1, and this will be third. So we do the search. We try to find those guys with those 1, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, not enough range. So only they try to spot this Kidobutai. Again, we roll for the long range planes. 0, 1, 2. Kidobutai is spotted. We need to move this task force forward, and this goes backward. And that should be fine. Okay, at this moment in time, the let's say UK player, Allied player decides to stop the moves, and we'll move to the battle cycle. First of all, lightning, and the lightning can be set up either by the roll. So we'll determine it randomly, or it can be set up using advantage of the operating player. Operating player has the possibility to use this advantage at the beginning to set up the daylight conditions, or then later during the next lightning phases, moving it up to forward. They don't want to do it, so we just simply roll a die and we'll see where it lands. 8 would be 39 day PM. That's interesting. And now we have a big roll because we go to the advantage determination. Whichever side goes first would probably be able to hit the enemy. Most of the task forces are already spotted, so not much else will happen. But remember that we remove detection at the end of the battle cycle, so it will be really important. So we roll. We have intercept as a condition, as a intelligence condition, and whoever is first, they will strike. Gosh, Japanese are first. What they should do? They have pretty formidable force, and they will be fighting also with pretty formidable enemy. That's for sure. They would love to get into the range of this task force, but could they do it? That's a good question. They can move in the battle cycle to hexes here, and then they have a range of the planes for 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough. Not enough. And when you look at those planes, they are formidable, but the defenses would also be pretty formidable here. Screen and core. Just a reminder, when we would have this flag procedure, we would be able to use either the screen or core units, and of course we'll be using this anti-air values. Just let me quickly check. Anti-air should be here. Those are those ones. Actually, this would be 4. It can do already some significant damage, but yeah, what else? What else shall we do? We should definitely attack them. Okay. So remember, the one who inflicts more naval hits wins. The Japanese will move 1 hex away with both of us, 1, 2, 3. So they have them in range, but they do not risk being overtaken by a task for once, and they will launch attack, which will be airstrike. I think I had airstrike somewhere over here, but I put it somewhere. So we launch an airstrike. We need to decide regarding the coordination, and for coordination we have L2 over here and we have L1 over here. I'd rather not use this L1 because it will make our coordination more problematic. So just let me check. We roll a die, and I'm pretty sure that we look at the 3 times the level. Yes. I always forgot it. Exactly. The die roll must be equal to or less than 3 times the lowest status level. So it's better to only use those planes here. We roll a die. So this is a coordinated attack. It's very important, especially for cap procedure. By the way, there will be not much cap procedure because we don't have anybody here who can strike at us. Okay, we'll move all the units. Yeah, let me do it like this. Let it be climatic. Let it be as it should be. I think moving of those battleships might be a little bit too hasty, not waiting for the rest. But yeah, if those battleships can reach our ships, well, then it could be really a big battle. By the way, remember, this is a learning exercise. I'm not claiming this is the best strategy. Yes, the air mission will not be detected in the hexes outside because you are not moving through an enemy, so no interception, but will roll for the detection in the target hex. It's pretty probable, if I remember correctly, up to 8. So this is US. So search for naval during the day up to 8. So it's really hardly. No. Sorry, guys. For air. So up to 6. Yeah, search for air up to 6. I don't know why I've seen the Japanese naval universe. So up to 6, and then we start with cap and flag first. Above 6, the strike would be first. Okay, so we start with the cap procedure. We don't have, we first designate strike targets, sorry. The strike targets would be following. We'll go for the battleships, yeah? Don't we? We have like 4 battleships. Let me do this targeted here, this targeted here. Those 2 target here. And yeah, those 2 units will target that battleship. C3, C4, yeah, C4, it's simply how much do we can have for it. Okay. So, Royal Souvenir, Resolution, Ramirez, and Revenge. It could be very interesting. But first of all, we have, of course, we don't have a cap procedure, but we have flag procedure. Okay. Just checking how many units. 4 screening or 2 core units. And 4, yeah, so just as I said, it will be 4. It will be 4. And we take our table of roles. I try to be as optimal as possible with space. So with shooting this movie, I just hope we can put it here. We'll not need, yeah, this naval moves anymore. So what we have flag unimproved versus air. It's 4. If we roll up to 4, we would have some hits, most probably 1 hit. Up to 4 is 2. Excuse me. So 2. We have hit. Yeah. So let me just flip it here. Yeah, for example. And then we start our procedure further. Flag procedure mission does not abort. I will remind you that if a unit takes 2 hits, it will abort. So we now do the strike procedure. We will be all attacking those targets which we designated. Each air unit individually attacks 1 target, and of course, if we inflict more hits than the target can sustain, they are lost. Okey-doke. There is, of course, the whole logic how to distribute the hits, how to put the primary target, secondary target. I just make it simple here, yeah, just simply putting the targets. Let's go from down. So our strength is 8 minus 2. This is 6, and we have at least 3 steps of L2, so we have +1. You can see the modifications, yeah. And I think it's here 3 steps of L2 air units. So this is 8 plus 1, 9 minus 2, 7. My goodness, it could hurt. 7. Oh my goodness. Whoa, our strength, just remind me, 8, 9, 7, 7, 0. And now if we go here, this is strike combat, FR versus naval, 4 hits plus critical, which will not change much. 1, let me just take it out. We don't need those reaction moves and so on anymore. So I believe 4 hits just destroys this ship. Thanks. Now another attack. Similar situation. 8 minus 2 is 6 plus 1 for 3 steps of L2. This is 7. 9, nothing. Then those guys, 8 minus 3, 5 plus 1 for 3 steps, 6. 3. So something will happen. 6, 3. These are 2 hits. Okay. Now those guys, and that would be one of the most devastating attacks, because here we have 8 plus 1 for the 3 steps and plus another one for 3 steps, so this is 10. We roll here on 10 and the same attack here on 10. Don't mess with Japanese carriers. 5 on 10. 5. 3 hits on the first. Okay. 0. This is 8 hits. Okay. It seems that the sailing out was not the best idea for the British. Definitely it was a horrible idea. They should as soon as possible get away. So 1 hit on the Japanese plane and 13 hits on British. Wow, that one is sunk. Let me put them like here. That one is sunk. Those 2 are hit. The one is crippled. Crippled, so that means they will be able to move only 1 hex. Either, or maybe we can get them out of the task force and then they will be able to move more. So we went through advantage determination, advantage movement, advantage air missions. Do we have any naval combat? No. Bombardment? No. Ground combat? Airfield recall, rally, disadvantage movement. Now the question is, do we want, and what do we want to do? First of all, task force 4 comes here and they combine those guys into task force 4. So here we are. Let me check the range on those planes. 4, 6, 16. Those 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we probably should try to strike them. First of all, task force 1 goes here. Task force 2 goes here to the same spot, or maybe even one less, one farther. Do we want to do any? Yes, we want with the Japanese try to search for them. 1, 2. It doesn't matter because we would have removal of detection removal anyhow. So it doesn't make sense to search. They are too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they are too far away from Japanese. And that would mean we have still the air missions. The planes from here are too far away. They have, you see, the range 7, but those planes here, tactical bombers, have the range. We are task in force 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, those guys, yes, those guys will try to do the airstrike. This is automatically coordinated because only one plane. And we go, of course, through the procedure. We're checking for detection in the target hex. And for this, we need to check. We actually need to check here. Up to 5. Up to 5. 5. We just got 5. So they are spotted. So we go first from the cap procedure. Do we have any planes here? I think we do. So we will have a fight. This will be a simultaneous fight, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because this is the those guys are the escort and these are the cap, so they anyhow will be fighting together. Just let me check one thing. Yeah, the non-mission player must alert air units. That's what we did. The non-mission player can, at his option, designate one alerted F unit as his cap. Yeah, that's what we did. And yeah. And we'll have a fight. Good. The fight will be here air combat, cap versus a coordinated mission, and coordinated strike versus cap. So first of all, we roll for the attackers. They do not have a very good values against the planes because it's -4. So we need to roll 0 to even talk about any rolls. So they do not hit anything. For those planes, they have 5 -4. This is 1. It's also not a great possibility to roll because it's 0, 1, and we need 6 steps of 1 to add. Okay, 0, 1. No. So nothing happened in the cap. And now they will be approaching us for a strike. The target will be, of course, the light carrier. And we can now use 2 from screen, if I remember, all of our 4 from screen to core units. I have huge screen, as you can see. I can use 2, 2, 2, 2 as the values of anti-air. So this is 8. My goodness. Flag unimproved versus air. Oh my goodness. 8, 2. We go here. 1 hit. The improved flag would cause much more damage. So this is 5. They do not abort, so they have possibility to strike. Again, it's more for the learning purposes because they will not do much. Actually, they are doing horrible at this moment in time. So let us try to do something about it. We need to roll. The strike is 1, -5. We are below 0, so we need 0. Okay, this is a miss. We come back. In a shame, didn't achieve anything. Now we have joint activate, deactivate. Then we have detection removal. So we remove the detection. And then we day mark adjustment. We move 2 days forward. And we come back to lightning conditions. The lightning is here. The question from Japanese whether they would like still to do some strikes. Remember, they need to come back and deactivate, probably here. And remember also about the restrictions. This is the coastal water and restricted water. So normally you can move during your battle cycle 2 hexes. but not in those. So here you can only move one. So if we go from here, it's 2, it's 1 turn, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So 9 plus 8, it's 17 days. We have like 2 more battle cycles maximum, because later on we need to start running away. The lightning condition goes to dusk, and that means that if we attack, our planes will be landing and can actually be hit. You need to do a check. You roll a die and check the triple value of the level. So for the L2, you need to roll up to 6, if I remember, not to have losses. So having in mind that they are winning pretty heavily in the points, it's like how much was it? 8, 10, 13, and are the hits on planes also counted? Let me just see victory conditions on naval. Only on naval. So if it's only on naval, it's like 13-0. The only hits which we had were on some of the planes via flag, and also here on those planes. So if it's the case, the Japanese will use their special advantage, move it to night, and they will start to simply deactivate. The US player can try to chase them, but they also need to be conscious of the fact that they cannot leave their ships outside of the reach of the safety activation. So what happens? We determine advantage. It's operating player. When we have a draw, they will definitely start to retreat. And of course, they can be searched for, but doesn't make much sense, because there will be no striking anyhow. They can move here, and that actually will finish the day. On the next day, we would have the AM. The only way to inflict any damage by the British is to have a double activation. So first of all, be the last in the turn and the first in the turn. We can try it. We can see how it works, but we need to be conscious of time for them also to come back and deactivate legally. So lightning moved here. Advantage determination. Japanese, okay, they are not lucky very much. So we'll be doing the searches 1, 2, 3, 4 with the regular. 4 hex, this is 0, 2. They simply don't have luck, and those guys try to find those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on 6 they cannot search. This is a US ones. The Japanese will try to search. That's a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Task Force 1. Let me see. 4 hexes 0, 2. Why not try to strike again? No, there will be no strike. So they will move away again. Yeah. Here we jump to the disadvantage player moves. They are here. They are risking a little because they could be searched, but doesn't matter now at the end of the turn. But they are so close, and then we jump to the day. 2 more days. We are getting dangerously close to the end of the mission. We have 12 days, so we have 4 more moves. 1, 2, 2.5. So 1 more move maximum from the American, from the British. Now the advantage is with the British. So they can in this turn still move 1 hex further, 1, 2, 3, and be able to deactivate. So task force 1 moves here. They search mutually for each other. This is range 2. On US table, range 2 means up to 4. And we got the Japanese. Yes, we found them. And for the Japanese to find the British, it's up to 4. Not this day. Yes, we also found them. Now those guys can try to find those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 5, I believe it was 0, 1. Yes, they are also found. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on 5, it's also, I believe, 0, 1. Yeah, everybody found everybody. So, this is by the British. What should they do? Should they strike at the task for once, Kido Butai, or maybe they would like to train? No, they cannot. They have reach of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They cannot get the task force 2. So, if they would like to strike, they should strike at the Kido Butai. But would they be able to inflict any damage? Yeah, they should, because they have not much else to do. Airstrike, and I think we'll have a procedure of counter-strike. And I think it's good to show this to you. Yeah, simultaneous strike procedure during an advantage air mission phase. So now, an airstrike mission against a task force that includes aircraft carriers with air units can trigger a simultaneous strike. How can we do a simultaneous strike? All disadvantaged air units on target aircraft carriers are alerted. They are. If the airstrike originated from an aircraft carrier, the task force containing the carrier has already been detected. Yes, they are both detected. The current operational intelligence condition is not ambush CV. Yeah, we don't have ambush. Okay. So we do the normal strike now. When performing a simultaneous strike, conduct the initial airstrike normally, including cap, flag, and strike combat. However, the alerted disadvantaged area units do not return to their carriers. Instead, during the advantage phase, they are moved to the hex from which the advantage player airstrike originated. And during the ensuing disadvantage air mission phase, the air units can conduct an airstrike mission. By the way, are they alerted in Task Force 1? This is to be seen. They will be alerted if we manage to detect this British attack. So we have an airstrike here. Those two courageous guys attacking Task Force 1. I see, I thought it's end of the game, but it's always good to play till the end. I'm just checking if we manage to get, yes, we will manage to get, just managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Oof. Good, I was just checking the task force once, it will not be sunk. So they attack, and we go through the usual procedure. They fly here, we'll try to detect them. The detection of the air units is 0, 5. Interesting if we'll have a simultaneous strike. Yes, we'll have. Good. So they are detected, so those units, those planes are alerted, and if they are alerted, they can take part in simultaneous strike. Now, designate strike target. Well, the newest carriers, of course, would be the strike targets. So Shikaku and Zuikaku. That one will get Shikaku and that one at Zuikaku. But first, foremost, cap procedure. We'll have a cap procedure. Did we roll for the coordination? No, we didn't. 0 to 3, I believe. No, not coordinated. And now we have cap procedure. Okay, the non-mission player must alert air units in the hex up to the air installation launch capacity. Fine. The non-mission player can, at his option, designate one alerted F unit at his cap unit. I will designate those guys, the killers. Yes. And this will be the escort for the active player. Good. So they will fight with each other simultaneously. Yeah, so we look first of all at those guys. They attack with a strength 6, minus 3, 3. And they roll on the uncoordinated versus cap. 4. So unfortunately no hit. And those guys attack with 7 plus 2 because they have 6 steps of L2, 9. And this is cap versus uncoordinated mission. 6 on 9. 9 is here, 6 is here, so we go here. And this is cap versus uncoordinated. 2 hits. 2 hits means that those guys abort. We do not move them immediately because they can still be targeted by flak. Oh, poor bastards. It's not going according to the plan. I think too much valor, not enough planning on the British side. Now we have airstrike, so they aborted. Sorry, we still have a flag procedure. So 4 screen or 2 car. 4 screen, I think, and we use 3, 2, 2, 2, which gives us 9. Probably 1 hit, no more. 9. Flag unimproved. 1, maybe more. 1. Flag unimproved. Oh my goodness. 2 hits. Yes, indeed. Which means those guys also abort. Both of those planes aborted. Yes. Did I tell anything about planning? Yeah, I think so. The tricky thing is that my Japanese units now will do a strike here. All of them, of course, in their turn, not immediately. This will be in their phase. So we went through all of these air missions. Now we go to the deactivated rally, disadvantage movement. So we do the move, of course, but those planes, of course, will come back to our carriers. They will do the strike. This was a simultaneous strike. Now, in the disadvantage flyer phase, let me just check this one more thing. Good to have it handy. Yeah. During the ensuing disadvantage air mission phase, the air units can conduct an airstrike mission in the hex and then return to the friendly carrier with their remaining range. I think they have a remaining range, and they are even in 4. Yeah, so this is all is fine. I think, if I read it correctly, because they flew not now, but in the previous phase. Yeah. Actually, so I hope they can come back. If I'm doing anything wrong here, please correct me, but I will play in that way. So we go through the standard procedure. We first roll for detection, 0 to 6 for airplanes in the target hex. Yeah, of course. So those planes are alerted. And now we go as usually for procedure. First of all, cap procedure, yeah, they will designate cap. And we will designate a unit. We are rolling for them. They attack on 0, 1. Coordination, guys, coordination. Need to roll up to 6 to be coordinated. No, they are not coordinated, not this time. So this is cap procedure versus uncoordinated. The strength is 0, 1, so 1, nothing. And those guys are 7 minus 3. This is 4 plus 1 for 3 steps of L2. This is 5. 5, 5. And this is uncoordinated versus cap. And those planes are down. Now, flag combat. We can have 4 here or 2 here, so 4 in the screen. Flag unimproved, up to 4. Yes, so it will be like 1 hit, I think. Yeah. Let's flip those guys and remove the advantage. And now we designate targets. We should actually designate them earlier. Sorry for this, before flag and cap, but didn't do it in time. We truly want to destroy those carriers, yes, don't we? So let's put the most formidable units against them. Those 2 guys here, those 2 guys here, and those, let them take on warspite. By the way, I think I made a mistake. Those guys cannot move so quickly because they have this crippled ship. Let's assume that they didn't even sail after this fateful battle anywhere near that they went back to sail. Yeah, sorry, this was my mistake. Now, airstrikes. For the airstrikes, let's go from here. 7 minus 2, this is 5, plus 1 for the 3 L2 steps. This is 6. 7, nothing. This is also 6. 2. So 6, 2. And we go here. 2 hits. Nice. Now those guys against that warspite, yeah. So this is 7. Sorry, my mistake. It was not 7. It was 8. It was 8 minus 2, 6, plus 1, 7. So it was on 7, 7, 7, 6. But 7, and what you rolled 2, 7, 2. So this was 3 hits. Yes, I looked at the wrong denominator of the strength. Now here 8 minus 4. This is 4 plus 1, 5. Nothing. And now 10 and 10. 6. 10, 6. This is 2. Yes, 10, 6. This is only 2. Hope for more. And 1 more roll. 5. 10, 5, 3. Crippled. Crippled, and not only crippled, my goodness. But you see, oh yeah, there is still space for those planes. Otherwise, if there will be more planes, there will also be lost. So huge losses. Warspite is fine, and the planes are coming back to the motherships. So instead of, let's say, revenging the attack on the battleships, the carriers were decimated and struck. So it was not the best time. In the following turns, those guys will sail here 1, 2, 3, 4. So exactly, they should manage to come back. 1, 2, 3. They should also manage to come back, and we should be able just to finish the game with a dramatic victory by the Japanese, inflicting 13, 18, 21 hits and sustaining some hits on their planes. Yeah, definitely, especially those L2 are very hard to replace, but all in all it was a huge victory. Thank you very much for being with me today here. As you can see, this is a pretty straightforward, although slightly one-sided scenario. I suggest using this for training purposes, for example, for new players or for the solo play. I would like to use this opportunity to also ask you if you like this video, this series, engagement scenarios, and now the battle scenarios, to subscribe to the channel. It really helps such a small content creator as the Board Games Chronicle. And also, if you like this video, please just give thumbs up. Thank you very much for today, and rest assured I will be back with next battle scenario.